Hey folks, it's getting that time of year again, and I'm just starting to break out all my turkey calls and start practicing because it's very important to practice your calling before the season comes so you're ready to call those birds in and get a good one. Now, first I'm going to start with my friction call here. This is just a HS Strut Glass Witch, and I've had this for a couple years, and I think it sounds pretty good. And I'm going to start out with this crosscut striker. It comes with it, and I'm just going to do some yelping and some cutting and some purrs so y'all can see what it sounds like. Now that was just pretty some basic stuff. Now, and as far as tactics and stuff, a lot of people like calling aggressively, but I've had a lot of luck with just calling contently and quietly and just calmly, and just call about that. It's real soft every 15 minutes, and those birds normally just walk right in. It's really surprising how well it works. So this is what I normally do in the woods. Now that might seem a little slow and might not seem like a whole lot, but a little bit goes a long way in the turkey woods, and it's important not to overcall and spook birds. Now I like switching up strikers, so I'm gonna start with this switch up to this rosewood striker, and it's a little bit high pitched, and I'll demonstrate some aggressive calling, where if you need to get that bird coming straight to you quickly, if he seems hung up, you can start calling aggressively and try to get him fired up. And I'm gonna do some cutting and some purrs and some fighting. No, I won't do no fighting purrs. I'll just do some cutting and some yelping, and that normally brings the birds right in. Now that was some loud aggressive calling, and if that bird's way out there, you might want to try to turn up the volume a little bit so he hears you and he comes right to you. And I'm going to demonstrate this one last striker. And I'm going to do some more purrs and some content calling because that's what I seem to have the most luck with. Now I'm going to go back to my favorite striker, the crosscut striker. Now if that bird starts coming a little bit closer, you can do some soft calls, just tone down the volume a little bit. And that's enough of the friction calls. Now I'm going to break out my mouth calls and show you what those sound like. I'm going to demonstrate 3 calls. This one call, my dad says it sounds like a gay turkey, but I really don't know what a gay turkey sounds like. It's a little bit high pitched, and I'll do some yelps for you. That'll normally get the bird fired up. If you do some yelps mixed with some cuts, it'll normally come right to you. Now, if you really want to simulate like a bird fighting or 2 hens going at it, you can do some fighting purrs with some high cuts and putts, and this is what it sounds like. Now the next call I'm going to simulate is called a fly down. It's right in the morning, and when the turkeys fly down, this is what they sound like. That's what a turkey sounds like when it's flying down. It almost sounds like a cut, but it's just when the turkey flies down, that's the noise it makes. The next mouth call, I got it last year, but it's a little bit hard using. Primos makes it. It's called the piggyback, and it has 2 frames stacked on one another so the reeds don't get stuck together. It's kind of hard to get some noise out of it, but it's got a real nice rasp, and it just takes a little bit of extra air to blow. This is what it sounds like. can direct the sound with your hand to muffle it to sound like a turkey's hen moving from side to side. Now the last mouth call I'm going to demonstrate, I got it yesterday. It's the Pretty Much Pro Series mouth call. I believe this is the Brad Ferris signature series, and it sounds very good. It's a very versatile call. You can call loud when the turkey's way out there. You can call soft when to bring them the last couple steps, and this is what it sounds like. I'll start calling off loud and aggressively, and then I'll show you how to call softly and contently to bring those last few steps or to get them around that one tree so you can get your shot off. That was loudly. Now I'm going to call softly. It's a very versatile call. And another thing I want to teach y'all is to vary your clucks. Your clucks, you can make a lot of different sounds with clucks. With a cluck, you can cut, you can putt, or you can just make a content feeding cluck. And I'll demonstrate this. I'll putt first, which is an alarm call. That signals danger to turkeys. Now, you don't really want to make that sound, but that's what it sounds like. And to make cuts, you just real fast, high-pitched cluck. So it's mix with some yelps and it sounds real good. And that's real aggressive calling, but to call contently, you can vary your clucks and bring down the volume so it sounds like a turkey feeding. You can vary your clucks, and that's all I'm going to show y'all today, but just break out your turkey calls and start practicing so you can be ready for when the season comes around so you can bag you that bird of a lifetime.